September is both Ovarian Cancer and Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, two causes that the Martin Truex Jr. Foundation supports. Now, the foundation was initially founded to bring awareness to childhood cancers, but in 2014, Martin Truex Jr.'s longtime girlfriend, Sherry Pollex, was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Sherry went through an 8-hour surgery and 17 months of chemo to beat the cancer. But earlier this year, Sherry had a recurrence, and she is currently going through chemo again to fight the disease. But what she won't do is let that disease hold her back from being Sherry Strong.
Martin Truex Jr. is going to win the first race of the playoffs.
Congratulations, Martin.
Martin Truex Jr. took the checkered flag in the first round of the playoffs at Chicagoland. And most importantly, his good luck charm, Sherry Pollex, got to be there with him.
I can't even tell you how much better, I'm a lot better driver these days because of her and what she's been through and what she taught me, and we've learned a lot about life together.
Standing on a frozen ground, dreaming of you.
To hear him say that, you know, you've made him a better driver and you've taught him so much, I'm sure you've had many conversations like that, but just to be in that moment and hear that, you know, how does that make you feel?
Well, actually, what's funny about you saying that is we haven't really had a lot of conversations like that. So for me to hear him say that on national television is really cool. I was trying really hard not to cry.
We continue to face every challenge head on, not scared. We get after it. We live every day like just like we want to, and we have fun.
It's really special to think that I could be an inspiration to somebody like him. I always look up to him and the way he holds himself, and you know that he's just so, I don't know, Martin's character is so calm all the time. He's always my rock. So to see him say that about me is really cool.
That's exactly what Martin Truex Jr. wants.
I think it's, you know, we've had conversations about it making him a better driver. I think that is just, you know, a testament to what we've been through, and you think you're having a bad day until you know what it's really like to have a bad day. You know, when you're fighting a disease or you see those kids that are battling cancer, and then it changes your perspective on everything. So I think that's part of what's made him a better driver. Just the patience and the perspective that you get from fighting this disease is really changed who he is.
And kind of a roller coaster of a few months maybe, because you got to be in victory lane this weekend, but you also had to celebrate, you know, from a hospital room as well earlier this season when he won a race.
It was really, I think, difficult to be in the hospital room when he won, because just not being there. And it wasn't like I made a choice to not be there. You know, I couldn't be there because I was home recovering in the hospital. So that race was hard, but I had all my family there, and we were cheering on the hospital floor that I was on. I think we woke up half the patients and the nurses that were there that night, but it was cool to watch it on TV and hear Martin talk about me then too. And he came and got me the next morning and brought me home, and we celebrated on Sunday, so it was pretty neat.
I gotta say hi to Sherry back home. She didn't make it this weekend, so love you, babe.
Sherry was only 35 when she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and while she could have stepped away from the public, she instead chose to share her journey in hopes of helping others.
I think the most important thing for women to know is not only the symptoms, but that you know your body better than anyone, and if something's wrong, you need to get help, and you need to kind of, I wish I would have pushed a little harder. You know, I wish I would have said, like, I feel this bad and I want you to do something else. I think the other thing too is that most women think that their yearly PAP checks for ovarian cancer, and it doesn't. You know, it checks for cervical and uterine, and that's a huge you know, hurdle that the Ovarian Cancer Society is trying to get over, our community is trying to get over. We're trying to come up with an early detection test, and I've been to Congress and I've lobbied for that, and unfortunately, you know, we don't have one yet, but I'm hoping sometime in my lifetime we do.
Statistics say her chance of survival is less than 30% in 5 years, but Sherry refuses to let the numbers define her life.
I kind of got to a place where I just didn't, you don't believe that that's going to be you. You just believe you're going to beat the odds. You believe you're going to be different. I had a girlfriend take me to lunch not long after I was diagnosed, and we were talking about survival rates, and I was having a hard time with it, and she was like, oh, well, so what do you think my chance of survival is over the next 5 years? And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, you're right, you don't know. You don't know, because nobody knows. You don't know, you know, you could leave here and get into a car accident. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what you're gonna die from, so don't worry about dying from cancer when you don't know if that's what's gonna happen. And from that day on, I just decided that I wasn't gonna let those statistics define my life and who I am, and I don't. I wake up every day and just believe I'm going to be different.
She's also started her own website, sherrystrong.org, that provides other women with information she found helpful during her battle, as well as a platform to share her story. Another thing that really stuck out to me, you put the gift of cancer.
Yeah.
It's really hard for a lot of people to see it that way, but you were able to kind of find the positive in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think any type of negative situation that you have in your life or anything bad that you're going through in your life, there's always a silver lining. There's always something positive that can come out of it if you look for it. And for me, that was really, I think, finding the gift of living, just learning that I wanted to live each day of my life a happy person. I wanted, like we were talking about, I wanted to be joyful, and I wanted to do things with my family and with my friends. And sometimes it takes something in your life happening to kind of trigger that. And not that I wasn't doing it before, because I was, but I wasn't doing it to the extent that I am now. Like now I'll make different decisions. You know, if my mom wants to come over and take a boat ride, you know, there's nothing that could stop me from that moment, from doing that with her to make a memory. I feel that way about everyone in my family and about Martin and my friends. And so it definitely gives you the gift of life, I think. And I know people think that's so funny, but I think that there's a lot of cancer patients that feel that way, that you walk outside and the sky's bluer and the grass is greener, everything is better, because you do kind of live like you're dying a little bit. And it's like that Tim McGraw song. It sounds funny, but I think it's true for a lot of patients.
Loved it. I learned so, I'm like, okay, gratitude, joyfulness, let's be happy. I was like, this is great.
I think about it all the time. Sometimes I'll just lay in bed and think, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky to, you know, be healthy enough today to get out of bed and get dressed and do this interview with you. I was thinking that this morning, you know, I could be so sick from treatment that I can't even come see you. But I think there's always something to be grateful for every day, you know, no matter how bad you feel.
Of course, we would like to thank Sherry for taking the time to sit down and talk with us about her journey, and we wish her the best in her fight against ovarian cancer. Now, for more on the Martin Truex Jr. Foundation, you can visit their website. You see it right here, martintruexjrfoundation.org. You can also check out sherrystrong.org. Thanks for watching.